That was a good live you had this morning. I enjoyed the content. Hey, people whoever. How you doing today? We're going to wait for... Go ahead and explain. This one's going to be pretty short, and it's not going to go on for hours and hours. This one's just going to be to give people like Scammy Claus something to think about. Dora, T, Petty, anybody that replays it. I know that people aren't going to cut this and put it up on their little hate pages and be like, "Oh, look what he said," as a positive thing. But now that I'm on the way to releasing the truckload of receipts that Scammy Claus lost on herself back then, stuff that Scammy Claus has never admitted to, stuff that she may have said, well, I told them not to do it, but forgot to add because people wouldn't believe it. It's those details that really make it where this is going to be a disappointing adventure for Scammy Claus. Right, Allie? I'm not going to be on super long right now, but I will be back at 8 p.m. for a much longer, much more detailed discussion about things that like the, quote, awareness community, and that includes the ones that are no longer awareness too. Things that they do to control the narrative, try to, the weird stuff that they be doing. Right, House Lies. There's a lot more. There's a whole lot more, but I can't be just negative. And maybe to get him to rally against him, because he just doesn't notice. They would be correct on all of that. Hey, Breezy, how are you? They also told her that she was lying about her DV situation, and they tried to spread that around. And I think that's gross. That's not the first time that Scammy Claus has taken somebody's situation and told them that they were lying about it, and I don't agree with that at all. She actually wanted me to play a video of it to prove to everybody that she wasn't lying. And I told her, no, thank you. I will not be playing that video because that is not content. She is not content. And she is allowed to tell her what happened. But I want to let them all know, everybody who's fighting to keep whatever relevancy that they think they have, you shouldn't have to fight to keep your relevancy. If it's work, Grippy Sock, no, I'm just a generous statement to anybody it resonates with. It's really something that Scammy Claus and Dora, T, Petty, Smashley, a lot of people should really listen to. It's how I operate. It's why everybody sees me being constantly shit on, but I don't go nowhere. And that's because everybody else is competing with something that doesn't exist. Most people believe that their biggest competition is outside of themselves. And people who are enemies and co-workers, your friends, or even strangers on the internet. But the truth is, the most relentless competition that we face is internal. It's the constant battle with the version of ourselves that we feel the public should see, that we feel obligated to display, to fit in, to be popular, to fit the narrative. And that version of ourselves is not real. It's an actor. It's a mask that they wear. It's a manufactured persona. It's meant to satisfy cultural expectations. It's designed to impress, to shield, and to survive whatever climate that you put yourself in. But when we measure ourselves against it, we enter a game that we can never win. Because the mask has no soul. It is infinitely flexible. It's infinitely demanding. And eternally dissatisfied. This is where authenticity matters. Kant, if you look up his philosophy quotes and all that, really good read, look up a bunch of them. Make your own mind up on which ones you like and you agree with. There's a ton of them. But Kant argued that to treat others as an end in themselves rather than a means is the foundation of moral law. But we forget that this applies inward as well. When we uphold a false self for others to consume, we treat ourselves as a means, as a tool for approval, for profit, or for acceptance. To live authentically is to return to universal law. That's another philosopher quote. You should look that up. I talked about it a bunch. To honor yourself as an end in itself. You are not an image, not a... No one can surpass you at being you. The need to compare goes away. Because the terms of the competition no longer apply. Competition assumes that something is scarce, that only one person can win, but authenticity exists in abundance. When you align your inner self with your outer self, there is no scoreboard, there is no ladder to climb, there is no contest, there is only coherence. In this sense, freedom is not about victory, and the private you, only victory that's worth striving for. Because it's not really a victory at all. It's just being at peace with who you are. And I hope they listen to that. Because there's a whole bunch of shit that's about to come out. And it would be a lot better to look, for them, Scammy Claus in particular, to look at how she was, to remember the things that she said, to remember how she acted in private versus how she acted in public, versus how she is inside herself at home when she is alone, sleeping in a bed, because her wife no longer wants to sleep in the same room as she does. It says a lot when you're unhappily married on TikTok, trying to be the holiday-themed awareness leader, whatever she's trying to do. And you're behind the scenes being a total dick. But all of this can apply to anybody, to Dora, to T, to Petty, to anybody in the chat, to me, to everybody. It applies to everybody. On TikTok, dangerous people weaponize outrage culture, framing and repetition, with people who are vulnerable to group thinking. Instead of telling everybody to do independent research, they say, everybody, listen to me because I know best out of everybody. A person can be turned into a villain overnight. And we see that a lot. We see good awareness, and we see awareness that's taking advantage of people. For good awareness, you got a few pages. You got Tangled Web of Lies. It's not trying to demonize one individual person. That if the people that they were putting out there would take accountability and, take that road forward without repeat behavior and make right with the people that they've done wrong, they would let it go and they would allow the growth to happen. You have House of Lies, who would also do the same thing. You have Scammy Awards, who does a wide variety of people, a wide variety of topics, but does not bully and harass one individual to the point to where that is their entire page's content. She has a list. Go look at it. I got 82.5. It's an honor. Famous gas. I never watched Penny Fairy. I never watched a lot of the awareness people. But that's because the vast majority of the awareness people ruined it for me by being shitty people masking as good people to the public when they had ulterior motives. And when it came out that they were the shitty people, well, they really tried to hide it by rallying everybody up and saying, that person's evil because they're telling the truth on me. Oh, yeah, I'm good. How are you? Hey, Bougie. How you doing? Bougie's an example of that. Claus and Dora, T, Petty, Smashley, anybody who's like really struggling to fight for their reputation online. If you got to fight for your reputation online, it ain't authentic. Your reputation is who you are online, not what people say. It's your actions and your beliefs, and the people that see it. If you're fighting for numbers, hey, if you're fighting for numbers, just tell people you're fighting for numbers. People see that. You're not being honest. You're just trying to get what you can and whatever money you can out of people. House of Lies, I did too. I try to go back and forth on that. Like, does Santa Claus have morals? And I've been back and forth on that for years. Like, maybe I'll give her an opportunity, and I do. And I'll take a box and I'll joke with her or whatever. And no, like the next week she's talking shit again. But if you watch what Scammy Claus does, you'll see what a lot of people do. And it doesn't work on everybody. And if it ever has worked on you, it's okay. It's not nothing about you. It's just how well they were able to do it, or how well they were able to tell the story. They target people. We'll just say, I'm not going to name any names for this example, or I'm going to try not to, but I will use examples that people can't deny. When a creator targets an individual because of behavior of theirs they deem as wrong, be it their behavior in general or a single moment, in their eyes, it's just wrong. Instead of addressing the problem directly, they start the process by clipping short segments of lives or whatever is about this person that they deem wrong. They remove all context from it. They talk about it. They paint the picture with what they say and what they want people to think. They frame it as a moral issue, and they demand collective outrage. That selective framing primes their audience, who have been following them for a while, or just generally trust people, to see the target as a villain. And the target never gets to explain themselves because nobody's willing to hear them out. Once the target has been identified, the narrative gets reshaped to fit a clear good versus evil. Because that's simple. That makes sense to a lot of people. Good versus evil, everybody wants to be good, right? They exaggerate. Small mistakes become signs of a deep corruption. People assume motive. Instead of focusing on what was done, they assign malicious intent. They say things like, they only did that for clout. Or, they don't actually care. They repeat the actions. The same accusations get repeated over and over and over until they're accepted as facts. They cherry pick anything they can, any slip, any misspoken words, any awkward phrasing. They'll go find unrelated video clips to use as proof, even if it happened years ago, to strengthen their narrative of this person is evil. They feel accomplished that, so many people are liking my video and so many people are involved in this conversation about this person without thinking what they're doing to that person. Right, Mush? The sense of entitlement that they have, the moral right to judge anyone, is insane. To me too, and I'm sure to a lot of others. These people brand themselves as truth tellers, watchdogs, or accountability police. They rely on people to continue to talk about it, to continue to push it, to continue to go into other lives or other areas where that person may be accepted, to continue to push their narrative, to make sure that that person is never able to escape that spot that they have put them in, that they have gotten the most success from. Because if they get out of there and they're able to move forward, well, all that fame and all that interaction that they got, it was for nothing. And it goes away. They leverage drama to build a platform. They get followers to tune in, not just for the content, but for the conflict. And it creates a dependency on the creator. Their growth relies on whoever was chosen as the villain. It is kind of like that karma. I bet they do get high off of it. So once the creator gets the narrative going and it gets traction, other people join in. Smaller creators, people who watch, people who don't make videos at all. They begin to talk about it. They begin to make a lot of noise about it, which gives repetition to the chat and reinforces any new person that comes in that if all of these people are talking about it, then it must be true. New people coming in have no chance to hear the other side because they see everybody's already made their mind up and they want to jump into it. Nobody ever thinks to talk to the other side, and if they do, well, they've probably seen people be outed and They were next. That's how echo chambers are made. And an echo chamber is a dangerous thing. It's a real thing. People should look it up. Any defense of the alleged villain is drowned out by hostility. That's why it's important to have opposing opinions in every space, but constructive opposing opinions. Constant negativity and constant downing of people, that's not an opinion. That's just harassment. If you have a negative opinion about somebody, be more constructive about it instead of harmful with it. With all that, it transformed what was initially someone's judgment of someone into a collective swarm of people harassing, bullying, and escalating the situation worse. The individual being targeted can no longer respond on any kind of equal footing. It's them versus an endless crowd. With repetition and reinforcement, the target stops being seen as a full human being. The escalation takes on many different forms, with rumors, fabrication. The prime example of that is Bougie's audio that was played that said, "I will wave at Petty while I'm taking off on the airplane." It was clearly played, clearly heard, but it was said by Dora. She said she was going to drive by Petty's house and take pictures. I don't know where she heard that. Hey, Becky. Claims without evidence get mixed in and treated as truth. And in some cases, it's all just claims without evidence that people believe. They coordinate attacks, be it in comments, DMs, or in live streams. The vast majority of the time, people don't even see the coordination. They just take the social cues to go protect the creator that's now talking, or protect the public. They use "we can protect people" as a way to get together and endlessly bash somebody. Take pics of her undercover police car, yes. Mittens is correct. Awareness lives have become a weapon. There's no unbiased platforms anymore. It's used to fearmonger. I like to say I'm pretty unbiased, like, especially with the Dora stuff. I have been biased before, and I will be biased again, but you'll know it when you see it. They go to off-platform harassment. Doxing, contacting employers, harassing friends, family. That's a big part of the escalation. They move the goalpost. Even if the person apologizes or changes, the narrative adapts to they're faking it, or they're only sorry they got caught. Right, House of Lies? About that, I'm just like, I remember hearing it and being like, I seen all the people agreeing, and I'm like, must be true. So many people agree, so I was kind of shitting on Bougie too. But then when I reached out and talked to her, I'm like, oh damn, none of this shit's true. Because it generates engagement. That's where you get other pages that start to put out negative things. We'll do diagnosis amnesia talk as an example for me. Three Blind Mice as an example for Smashly. You know, there's pages about all of us that just take whatever we do and spin it in the worst way they can and put it out there and say, look at this asshole. House of Lies, he did not show one shred of proof of anything. And this guy was talking and put some random shit up on the screen, and everybody was like, he showed a receipt. He showed a receipt, and it was like, it was random ass text. Name it, Carolyn. What about the threats of violence I've made? And name which time, and I'll tell you why. We'll pause to let Carolyn, hey Roser, to let Carolyn get her question out. I've had posts on my page. I'm doing good, Roser. How are you? Then I remove them. What? You're going to have to be a little more specific because I don't make posts about violence, Carolyn. How about I answer that for you? Because I know you're just being like vague and trying to get people to be like, oh, well, that's different. Well, it's no different. I didn't make any posts of violence on my page. I said that shit out my mouth myself. And I meant it. You're talking about the petty stuff? That audio that Dennis has up on his page, Scambusters, you can go see it. I absolutely said that. I absolutely meant it. That's when Pastor Petty green screened my children and their addresses, and that was back when he had 600, 700, 800 weird ass people that would do weird shit. And I said, if anything happens to my kid, play that audio. That's what I said, and that's what I meant. Because I'm going to point out a pretty good point. Remember when Pastor Petty lied and said he was just protecting his child? Why does he not understand any other person protecting their children? When he green screened them and he has wacky followers who are going to do whatever, of course I'm going to lay it out there now. Results. I'm results driven. Has he ever done it since? Absolutely not. And I think that's a good point to prove. Sometimes you need to lay it out like it is and put that line in the sand. Don't open that door. I might not kick yours in. And it's not just me that he weaponizes that against. It's other people that he cannot seem to grasp that maybe people are protecting their children. I got a lot of friends that protect their kids, and he just doesn't seem to get that. Yet he wants everybody to believe him when he says, I was just protecting my kid. And you prove you're lying with every accusation on somebody else, Petty. Right, Mush? Hey, Free Spirit. And I've always owned that shit. I always will. And I mean it. Like, play it again. Remind Petty. Remind everybody, actually. I get a little funny about my kids. Like, when Queenie said she was going to post them. Look at how that spiraled. Shit. That's the reaction you want. I'll be glad to provide it for you. Back to this topic. I'm glad Carolyn kind of didn't comment anymore on that one because she's stuck. Someone tell Maddie to get her mom Carolyn off the internet. She ain't doing nobody no good. So, for the individual that's targeted, the consequences can be severe, and most of the time they are. They can have a loss of reputation and relationships, mental health struggles from being constantly attacked, being forced offline entirely, leaving the villain label as the last word that they said online. For the accuser, though, the cycle often ends in a short-term reward, higher visibility, stronger branding as a fighter for justice, and a loyal following built on shared contempt and the love to see somebody go down. TikTok is full of people that love to be outraged, that weaponize framing, repetition, and groupthink. And it's a terrible thing because terrible people abuse it. But it's never too late to see what you're doing is wrong and be more authentic with people online with who you really are. Right, House of Lies. Petty did mod me after all that and accepted. Was there an apology for the dickhead things? Sure, but I felt I navigated that situation as best I could and as honestly as I could. There really was no full-on apology. It's just we're a couple of guys that are toxic, admittedly. And we were having a pissing contest. At the end of the day, that's what it was. But notice there was no retraction on the chicken story. Why would Petty mod me without me retracting the chicken story if it was not true? There's a lot of things for people to look at when it comes to how things go on this internet. Wouldn't he have wanted me to be like, yeah, I was just fucking with you? Why would he want people to continuously think he put a chicken in his ass for money on the internet because he was paid by a man from Sweden on Chatterbait, which is why he got banned from Chatterbait? If anybody knows me, everybody knows that I'm not going to lie for attention. I'm not going to lie to create friendships. I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, the chicken story didn't happen when it did. We all know it did. He likes his prostate pecked at. And Miss Sunshine likes to dig up there for the feathers that may be left behind at the commissary. We still don't know if it's before or after. But we all do shit to each other. And I don't know why it's anyone else's business what we do to each other. If we argue, it's not 200 of y'all's business. It's mine and their business just because we do it in front of you. Sit down, grab the popcorn, and watch. You ain't got to join in. Your opinion's unnecessary. See if it's like a personal argument between me and Petty about that. To weaponize it against people later, a little weird. What, you think I'm embarrassed of what I say? You think it? The fact that I have all of this, and this isn't even 5% of it. It's wild. Of the emails. Both sides. The emails to, the emails from. The text messages to and from. The long distances between the responses to Scammy Claus. Scammy Claus poking and prodding Jen to get a reaction out of her, to try to drag her back down to where she was before, so Scammy Claus has someone to talk about. It's crazy to think that if it ever came out that Jen was doing better, Scammy Claus's whole platform would be nothing. Because it's not about growth and change to Scammy Claus, it's about who can I point at next to be a victim of mine. Who can Scammy Claus make a victim next? It sure as fuck ain't me. It ain't a lot of you. She'll find somebody who's begging for money. Hey friends, how are you? Scammy Claus does hide the vile shit she does. I'm much nicer in DMs than I am on this app. I'm much nicer in public discourse than I am on this app. I do all my fuck shit is done publicly for everybody to see. Because if you get to know me privately, it only gets better from there. Hey, F-Juice. But that's the opposite. Scammy Claus puts on this fake persona of some high and mighty, smug, righteous, self-important, better than everyone individual. And the people that listen to her and follow her, good for you. You might think you're looking up at somebody who has morals, but you're really looking down at somebody that's spitting on the homeless when she donates food to the food pantry. She only posted for attention. She really meant it with any kind of genuine concern for homeless or people needing food. She wouldn't post it. She wouldn't say, hey, look, guys, I'm going to use this one metric over here that doesn't show what I make as a guest. It only shows what I make as a host. And I'm going to make you guys think that the receipt that I show you for food wasn't the receipt that I bought for shit from my house. And me unpacking it out of my car wasn't me just putting it in my house after I took that picture. Right, mandatory. The terrible things that people like Scammy Claus do is covered up and ignored by the people that follow them, but it's seen by the people that really watch. Why is she fucking with people that are asking for money on the internet? You see somebody asking for money, is your first thought to bully them? Is your first thought to rally people against them and say, oh, that's somebody who's immoral. That's somebody who's awful. They're poor. Go get them. No. That's not supposed to be your first thought. People aren't content. Poverty is not content. People in poverty is not content. People in general are not content. Why she picks people in poverty, people asking for money, is because she can easily paint them as lower than her with her, quote, $1 million house that doesn't have drywall finished. That doesn't have flooring. It's for sure 2 bedrooms, though. Because Scammy gets one and her wife gets the other. Right, friends. Why is it a scam if TikTok created the option to pay? I don't see Scammy Claus going to the median at Walmart and hassling the person holding the sign. I'm not sure how many beds it is, Karma. I know for sure it's 2 because Scammy gets one and her wife gets another. I think it's gross to bully people who are asking for money. To weaponize a platform against somebody who needs $50 for tonight's hotel. It doesn't matter if they're taking that $50 and buying food or rugs with it. It doesn't matter. Because once you send that money, you wash your hands of that money. You move on. You did your good deed. You feel good about yourself. And you have a good day. But people like Scammy Claus encourage people to go message the people that sent them money. To go message the people, hey, you're being scammed. Don't do that. Which then in turn makes people believe oh, I was fucked over. So now they're a victim, and people love to be a victim, and they go for it, and then it turns into this big shit show that everybody sees that this person's scamming. Look how this person's reacting. When that person would have never reacted that way if you would have never put your nose in their business and told them that they were scammed when they weren't. You're lying to people, Scammy Claus. I will never forget when I sent Lisa Richards a single rose, and I got 10 plus messages from people being like, "You're being scammed. Go to this platform to see why. Don't feed her addiction. This, that, the other." It was wild. Like, y'all ain't got nothing better to do. It can be a business, but the business ain't ruining one person for your business to succeed. If you've got to bring anybody down for your business to succeed, you ain't got a good business, and you shouldn't be doing it. Your business should be about bringing people up, not pointing at somebody and telling everybody, okay, this is why we feel good, because we can put this person below us. It's weird. And I'm not sure why people fall for it and why people do it. Do they think it's fun? Well, I think it's fun to joke about people. I make memes about people. I really do fuck with people. But who? People that be fucking with other people. You get what you give. People fuck with me. I laugh at mine, though. People make good content about me. People make funny videos that is supposed to be derogatory towards me, but I don't take it as derogatory. I think it's funny. I like it. Because I do it to other people, and if I'm not willing to take it, I shouldn't be dishing it out. I don't think it would be fair for Scammy Claus to be treated like Jen is Stronger, or to be treated like Bougie was, or to be treated like Mittens is and was. I say that now because everybody's pointing at Mittens for some fuck shit, and Mittens ain't doing nothing. Hey, Monster. How are you?
I'm good. Real quick. I don't really know if it's opposing, but I wanted an opinion. Obviously, I have one, right? I'm fucking opinionated. I get it. My thing is, I agree, right? My thing is for the audience that thrives on the entertainment of the person struggling and the ones gifting to watch a demise. Does that make sense?
It does.
My thing is, so I don't know if you know Miss Ashy Cap. I'm from way back then. She was. Oh, okay. She was a tarot reader that had an issue. Okay. And I modded for her, and I was trying to be like a positive influence on her when I had no business being a positive influence to anybody, because I was like a raging out, you know. So I didn't do a very good job. And then back in the day,
it's the attempt of that.
Do you remember Eddie?
Sorry, you cut out there.
I'm sorry.
Do I remember who?
Eddie.
Eddie? No, I don't remember Eddie.
Oh, man. I modded for Eddie, too. Eddie was somebody who had a clear issue, right? How do I say this? He didn't make it. And I feel responsible, even though, and me and Auburn have talked about this in depth, okay? It's somebody that me and Auburn used to cover. I used to mod for beggars so that I could unblock, like, Auburn, you know? But I would, when he was at the store, I would, you know, if he was in line getting his cold cuts, I would pay for it. I still feel responsible for him passing. Maybe it's the human thing in me, but I feel like after the passing of Eddie, I started focusing on the enabling of Lisa Richards instead of Lisa Richards herself. So if people were in there gifting or whatever, you know, the screen recordings, I would block her face out completely and focus in on the gifting. Because to me, if you pay attention to the names, Florida Man, it's the same people going into these lives with people that have like an obvious rug issue gifting, and I feel like it's to watch somebody unalive on live. Example.
That is.
Go ahead.
That's something that people say, and that's something that's been said a lot. It's like a twisting of the narrative. People who are in active addiction are going to get their money one way or the other.
Okay.
Giving somebody an active addiction money isn't a bad thing. A lot of those people, they were there once, and they're like, well, fuck it, $10 would have helped me.
I feel a lot differently now than I did going through that Eddie stuff. Now I feel like, obviously, Lisa Richards is a widow in pain, right?
Yes.
I resonate with that. I see her as a human being, and that's why I always stood up for her, no matter what anyone else said to me. I was kind to her when I would see her. My point is, I realized that it's not my place to be judging what the money's going for. It's none of my fucking business. This life is hard out there, and if that person chooses to eat with it or numb with it, it's none of my fucking business. Florida Man, I'd have had like 17 fucking Reddits and all the things. But
yes,
people need to be showing more compassion to other people, is what I'm trying to say. If you don't want to donate, don't. If you do. Just expect it to either go for food or whatever the fuck they're doing with it. It's none of your business. If you want to fucking... Huh?
Oh, go ahead. I said if they got the extra money,
yeah,
then that's the extra money. Just wash your hands of it, send the money, you did your good thing, feel good about yourself, and don't worry about what happens.
Listen, yesterday I donated to somebody, and then I went into a different live, and they were like, oh, she's a scammer, she goes to the casino. I'm like, oh, okay, have fun.
Couple spins on me.
Like, listen, if you win, hit me up. Just a little portion, that'd be cool.
What friend said, why give with expectations?
I agree. Now, we are all, I don't, friends, I really fucking don't. I give because I feel like I'm blessed with my candle thing, right, Florida Man? And I'll like make them for other people for free and like donate part of the thing to other people, right? And I'm not coming out, I don't ever talk about that because it's not all about me. But we have to start showing people more compassion, is my point. If somebody has a wish list, fucking buy somebody. Buy somebody something. It's gonna
Sorry,
make.
one second. I had to mute. I had the 5-second mute get positive just because we gotta not say that name.
Hey, you know what, friends? I got a court candle. Just saying. No, but yeah, my whole thing was coming up here just saying the compassion thing. So it's back and forth for me, right? I do feel like just because of losing Eddie, it's like shit. So anyway, it's about growing. I don't even know why I'm up here, to be honest.
Oh no, you're good. You made sense, and it gives it from a different perspective from someone who's experienced the active addiction, experienced modding for somebody who had passed away, feeling that guilt, and then moving forward.
Hey, friends.
Hey, friends, how are you?
Hey, Florida Man. Hey, Monster. How y'all doing today?
Good.
Good. How are you?
I'm good. So my thing is, right, for those of us that do get gifted and turn around and give back to our supporters, how does that make us a scammer? You understand? I support businesses, I'm gonna even buy a candle from Monster, whether if I burn it or not. But we give back. A lot of us give back. A lot of us give back to the people who give to us. And I think it's only right to support those businesses and the supporters that support us, because without y'all, we have no platform.
Yeah. And
So
that's exactly what I was saying, friends. That's what, I give away more than I sell.
I know why you do. I know why you do, right? Because if y'all don't support us, we don't have a platform. Especially if you on here saying it's a business. Y'all hear me saying it all the time. It's a business for me. I got girls I gotta take care of. I have bills. I don't have time to sit on here making a bunch of friends that's gonna expose and exploit me. This is a business. And I wish a lot of y'all wake up and know, get on here, take care of yourself, take care of your kids, take care of your bills, and help those who help you. Now, that's my message for today. Help those who help you. Now, y'all be blessed. I'll see y'all later.
Thank you,
Yes,
babe.
ma'am.
I'm gonna hop down too, Florida man. I just had to,
Okay.
get my clout for today, and you seem to be the platform to do so on.
I appreciate that. I've got plenty of clout to spread around.
I'm trying to actually give mine away, but whatever. I'll talk to you later.
Okay, I appreciate y'all. And to use friends as an example, it's a business, but she's not bringing anybody down. She's bringing people up. She's doing her thing without singling out one individual and pointing her platform to attack. She is looking at everybody and saying, how can I make everybody up? That's the type of business that people should make their TikTok. Not look at one person and put them below you and make money off of it. Because believe it or not, Scammy Claus is making money off this shit. Hey Jen, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I wanted to come up here and say about the whole scamming and stuff. They labeled me a scammer and a beggar back then, but they really didn't look at the whole issue. I was in a domestic violence situation. I had just became homeless. I was in survival mode as well, and that's not an excuse for what I did. I did what I did, and I said what I said. And that's how that is. But I think they need to look at the big picture, and they took my domestic violence situation and made fun of me with it. I mean, totally made fun of me about it. But you know what? I'm still standing strong. I'm doing the right thing. I don't want to be mean. I don't want to say bad things about people because I'm trying to change my ways on that. And but that's what
Saying
they
bad
did.
things,
Like Scammy and all of them made fun of my domestic violence situation.
saying bad things about people and being mean about people is completely different than being honest about their actions towards you. If they find that mean or bad, maybe they shouldn't have acted that way. One question is do you think you reacted more to the pressure that they put you under? Do you think that made you do worse things or do things in a different way than you would have if you were not under that microscope by these people being constantly harassed?
When they would come at me, I would come back at them 100 times more. You know what I mean? Like, well, I'm just going to go online and I'm just going to, keep begging. You know what I mean? I'm going to keep doing this. I'm going to keep doing that. They're going to keep it on me. Well, why not? I mean, it was just like the moment of giving up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I completely understand. The reaction, they, they provoked you for a reaction and you gave it, and as you should, because you should not sit there and take anybody's shit. But then they used your reaction as fuel to continue their narrative of look at this person, and it's gross.
And to answer that question that was just in the chat, no, I am not with him. I never want to be with him again.
That's okay.
And,
We're gonna. Oh, go ahead, Eddie.
Jen, me and you have talked a lot, right? On live, and I've even talked to you off this app.
We did there for a little bit before
Yeah.
that picture of my big fat lip where he had punched me in the mouth. It got pushed around and twisted to where everybody said I was using again, and I wasn't. He had hit me in the mouth.
Right. And I told you before, right, that you have got to ignore what people say. It's just like that comment coming here. You got to ignore it. They're going to come in. They're going to say shit. They're going to come at you to bring you down. You've got to focus on you and your recovery and what you're doing.
Amen.
And I've seen a lot of growth in you. I've seen a lot of change in you. I'm proud of where you're at. And I just wanted to tell you that I'm proud of you and where you're at in your recovery. You're doing awesome.
That means a lot because we used to have our, you know, we love to hate each other moment, but
Yep.
that means a lot coming from you, and I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I wanted to come up here and tell you that while I had a chance. I'm not feeling too good today, but I just wanted to tell you that while I had a chance that I'm proud of you. Keep pushing forward.
Thank you, and I hope you get feeling better.
Thank you, hon. I'm hopping back down, Florida man.
I appreciate you, Nikki.
And like I said before, the reason I would always go back to him is because people on the app would get me to a certain point, like, yeah, we got you, and then all of a sudden they would fall off. I didn't want to be left alone. I
You don't
wanted
have to.
to.
You never have to explain any reasoning why you did your personal relationship stuff because there's 100,000 reasons. And, I mean, honestly, it's tough to pick one as the reason. Just as you shouldn't have.
I was addicted to him as much as I was the rugs, as much as I was TikTok, I
Yeah,
was addicted to it all, really.
and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
Jen, I just want to say, hey, so please don't ever explain yourself as to why you went back. If you look up the statistics, I'm not going to cry. If you look up the statistics, it is 100% normal for an abusive relationship for the victim to keep going back. Jen, I left my abuser 13 times until I finally escaped and I stayed away. 13 times. I'm not an addict. I'm not my problem was obviously, like you said, like it's a dependency issue. They make you think that you need them and that you can't live without them, and like who's going to want you. It's a manipulation tactic. So do not ever explain yourself in here as to why you went back to him, how many times, or anything. It's no one's business. It is normal whether you're an addict in recovery, an addict still using, or just someone who's a punching bag, So please do not ever feel like you need to explain yourself. And I'm really glad that you're out. And I hope that you stay safe, okay? You're welcome.
You and the reason I do that and I over explain myself is because I've lied on this app so much that I really want people to see that I have changed and I am I'm living my best life right now. I mean, this is totally amazing, seeing life as life, you know what I mean? And not trying to medicate yourself all the time. And that's why I over say a lot of things, and I tell people things that I should keep to myself. But I've also learned to move in silence as well.
Hey,
But I'm
Caroline,
just
why
trying to
don't
be
you go
upfront and
find
honest with
someone that
everybody because
wants
I have hurt
you?
people.
Hey, Caroline, why don't you go find a man that fucking wants you, you dumb bitch? Here, let me help you out. Let me just block you.
I already blocked her.
And it's
All right,
people like
I'm
that.
dropping down. Ignore them, Jen. Ignore them. They're mad that they can't even find a man right now that wants to be with them. It's fine. Let them hate.
They're mad because I'm being successful in life right now
Exactly.
and I'm not failing. That's why they're mad.
Right. They're mad because you're no longer their entertainment. You're stepping out of the spots that you were in where they could look at you and say, we're better than Jen. You're growing in ways that they cannot. So they have to try to keep bringing you back down to that moment.
But let's not forget that time that I did try to end me, because of scamming.
I know.
There's been 2 attempts. One was because of Dora and T, and the other one was because of scamming. Because they push people and push and push and push.
People like that don't see that they're affecting people. Like, they see that they're affecting them, but then when it happens, it would be like, if it would have happened, they would have said, oh, that's an OD, and they would have. And we all know that is exactly what Scamming would have said. She would have never have admitted to pushing people to that point I've seen a good bit of the text messages. I don't even think I have 5% of Jen's stuff. And what I've seen is disgusting. And I'm going to get the other 95% of Jen's stuff. And I'm going to make sure that the proper people see the proper things. It's just kind of gross behind the scenes of it all. And when you look at that one text message about Tara, you got to think, why would anybody ever say that to somebody who is in active addiction or out of it? Is it to send them back in it, or is it to push them deeper into it? About your over-explaining, Jen, could it be because no matter what, even if you're telling the truth, do you get questioned all the time? So do you automatically feel like you have to jump to an explanation immediately?
Like, Scammy emailed me, behind the scenes from when everybody didn't know. She called me once, and, she knew every move I was making before anybody else knew. That's why I don't understand why she took those simple jabs at me to do what, to say the things that she said. And
to get a reaction.
It pisses me off sometimes, but it didn't really affect me. I mean, it did then, but now I look back at it, and it's only made me stronger. And the people that say about the hotel rooms and everything, I still have every receipt for every hotel stay that I had. The money that I got, that's the first thing I went and got was a hotel room. So where they're getting their information from, I don't know. But I could swear to you, I have every receipt.
Oh, you don't
and
need
I can prove that. It's like I'm tired of proving myself when everybody already knows. Scammy knows I'm doing good. Why would she turn around and talk bad about me? I don't understand it. Why, does she need some money in her pocket? Is that why?
Yes, that's what it is. She needs some of that attention, some of that recognition from her people. She wants to give an update on people that she's, quote, covered before, and it's always negative. It can't be positive because positivity doesn't sell. Negativity sells. But that's why you see the accounts that come in here and say stuff, and what we all got to understand is that stuff's in the past. What about where she's at now? Where's the update saying Jen did better? Rather than
I was living in my car, and I did have breathing problems. Yes, I did, and all because I didn't give my medical records over to Scammy and stuff. This is what they run with. The guy in the chat is running with it.
Don't worry about that, Jen.
So commenters either act right or just go away, because you're gonna get muted. And Harrison, do you circle back to check if you give someone on the street money? Do you circle back the next day to make sure they spend it on what they said they were going to spend it on? No offense to you, Jen. I'm just saying in general.
And I just wanted to say, I saw that Jackie already got kicked. Jackie, why don't you go back to Scammy Claus's inbox and figure out what scammer you want to go pretend to be friends with next? Because I know that's what you do. You did it to Jen, and I do have proof of that. So don't act like you don't know what's going on. And just take your meat curtains and fly away, ma'am.
Well said. You don't owe anybody anything. You don't owe anybody anything. You don't owe your medical records to nobody. You don't need to prove yourself to anybody. What do they matter to you? What do people who want to see you do nothing but be down matter to you? They can watch you progress from a distance. They can say whatever they like about you. They can remember 2 years ago and say, I still have that $80 transaction. What you hanging on to $80 for 2 years? Is it the only $80 you ever had, and that's why you still talking about it? It's really weird. You're not able to wash that out. I'm sure there was some coercion behind it, to where they were like, "Oh, he got scammed." When you send people money, you send it to them, and you wash your hands of it. You don't care what they do with it. Stop having expectations for where your money goes. If you want your money to go somewhere specific, do a Walmart order. DoorDash them something, Instacart something. Don't send them cash. But if you send them cash, stop acting like it's...
I want to answer Rim real quick.
Yes.
Rim, yes, I did. I told Scammy everything. She knew where I was working, where I was going to be living. She knew the area because she was, in the beginning, she was supposed to be helping me look for an apartment. She knew everything.
That I would say never do again with anybody on this internet. People don't need to micromanage you or keep their thumb on you or know every aspect of your life because they'll weaponize it against you. They'll twist it. They'll be like, "Oh, Jen went to work and she got off at 8 p.m. and she got home at 8:30. I wonder where she stopped on the way." And they'll allude to behavior that's not there, just to get people riled up. Privacy is a good thing, and that's something that you should.
The whole Scotty's mom was going back to Dora and T and telling them everything, but then I was telling Scammy because Scotty's mom or whatever would yell at me for telling Scammy the information.
Hey,
That's
Mom
how that
Jax.
went.
So it seemed like a fight between like who got the information first, like you were breaking news or something.
Right, it was a race to see who could get the information first to get it out there and twist it. Sorry.
Oh no, you're good. I was muting an account.
There's a lot of things that I would love to tell Rim and send her all the proof that what they were saying and doing. But
we'll get there.
at the end of the day, I don't want nobody to hate me. I want everybody to see I'm doing better because I love everybody.
Look, we'll get there. You're sending me a lot of stuff. You got a lot more stuff to send, and it'll be gone over. You got a lot more to talk about. You got a lot more to say. We got a lot more stuff to work through, and people are listening. It's the people that are negative that keep coming in and that keep having other lives, being like, or like the Reddit page you told me about. They can be weird. Isn't it disgusting to not want to see people do better? And to not acknowledge when people are doing better. When Nikki came up, when Jenna came up, explained, Mittens, everybody came up. Didn't that feel good to other people as well? To see people be like, hey, congratulations, you're doing better. I'm proud of you. How could you look at that as a negative?
They take me getting those compliments as a that a girl, pat on the back, but when you're in recovery, sometimes that's what you need, you know what I mean? And it's not really a pat on the back and a that a girl. It's proving to myself, these people are telling me, good job, congratulations, we see change. Telling myself, hey, look, I did it. I'm doing it.
Right. And that's all anybody can ask of anybody. And there's being negative about it isn't going to promote people to go forward with that positivity. If you're negative with people, then you're going to try to drag them back down into that mindset that they were in, and you're going to reinforce the idea that they already have, that they've been shit on for the last 2 years, that nobody wants to see them do better, so they might as well fuck up and go back to it instead of being positive, which is the thing to do, you weird bitches that are being negative. It's okay to question. It's okay to get the full story. It's okay to get her side. Because maybe what y'all heard ain't exactly the truth, because people like Scammy Claus, people like Dora and T love to twist that shit to fit their own narrative, to make it more entertaining for people, to make it more negative, to make people pay attention and be like, oh, she's such a bad person. And y'all are real shit for that. You just are.
Right. The only reason them ladies came over and was ever my friend, it wasn't that they wanted to be my friend. They were there to do a job. Kelly Denton said it the other day in T's Live. She was there to do a job. And that was to help make me fail.
That's gross. That is just gross. Hey, Nikki, how are you?
I'm good. I think I've said this to you before, Jen, and I'm going to say it to you again. Don't seek validation from others. Seek validation for yourself. From yourself.
Exactly. And ever since you told me that, I have a post-it note on my mirror, and I make sure every morning noon and night. Every time I go to that bathroom, I make sure I say something positive to myself and
Mm-hmm.
tell myself how good of a job I'm doing. All because you told me that.
Yep. You don't need nobody else telling you you're doing great or you're proud of you. Be proud of yourself and seek that validation within yourself because you know what you're doing.
I got a
Yes, I
question,
do. Thank
Nikki.
you. Yep.
Do you think that it's a positive step for Jen to be able to be public, to take a box, to talk, to say how she feels? Do you
Yeah.
think that's a positive step?
Yeah, I do.
I do
I
too.
mean, I've seen a lot of change in Jen. I've seen a lot of growth in her. And
By
me
the
and
way,
her
Jen,
had some really, really tough conversations. And she will tell you, and everybody knows, I'm not a coddler. I don't coddle anybody. I give it to you straight because us addicts, we need that. We need for you to tell us what it's going to be. What like if you don't stop, you're going to unalive. We have to have it straight, and we have to have it harsh. Some of us has to learn that way. And I've always been open and honest with Jen, and I've always kept it 100 with her. And I didn't call her. I just told her, "Hey, this is what needs to be done. This is what you need to focus on."
yeah, I think that's good. I had no idea you guys were talking either until now.
Yeah, I've talked to her. I've went in her box quite a few times, I believe, Jen. Haven't I?
Yeah, and then we got sidetracked and we went back on our love hate relationship, and then
Yep. Then I went back
but
in her box,
you've
talking
been
to her
watching.
and helping her.
Yep. Yep.
It'd be like that sometimes, though.
But at that time, I deserved it. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
really did because I was trying to be something I wasn't. Instead of
Hmm.
being something I wasn't, I needed to just be myself.
Just had to be yourself, and that's what I told you. Be yourself.
Yep.
Be proud of yourself and look inside yourself. Because I'm telling you, I even told you, set those mini goals. Don't set the goals that you know that you can't reach because expectations they will unalive us quick. We can't have, don't put expectations on us as an addict. Don't put expectations on yourself. Set those mini goals, and once you reach them, you feel so much better about yourself with everyone that you reach. Everyone you reach, make sure they're in reach.
And being in recovery, we're going to be making those and achieving those goals for the rest of our lives. It's not something that we graduate and happily get out of being in recovery. Once in recovery, you're going to always be in recovery.
Yeah, I mean that's like I said. I wish there was a magic. I wish getting in recovery. It was like a magical fix, and we're perfect, and everything's just no. It ain't that way. We're still human, and I think a lot of people sets this standard for those of us in recovery. They set a standard on us that we're supposed to be, held to a higher standard. We're supposed to be better, or doing better, but we're still human. We're still prone to make mistakes. We still have feelings. It's a battle that we battle every day, and there's no magical fix. It's just you have to work your recovery, whatever program you're in. You have to work it.
And it's okay to make mistakes. That's part of it. Nobody's perfect. Everybody's gonna have a misstep here or there. Hey, neighborhood watch, how are you?
I'm doing all right, Florida man. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I can't complain.
I just wanted to hop up here real quick, and I wanted to address Jen real quick, if that's all right.
Of course, yeah.
Jen, I don't know if you remember who I am or not, but I was in your live a couple times under a couple of fake accounts. One you probably remember more notably would be Anthony.
What was it again?
Anthony.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I remember getting away. Yep, yep, yep.
Yep. I wanted to apologize for deceiving you, and I know I wasn't as bad as some of the other people that would go into your lives, but I still feel bad for going in there and being less than honest. And I also wanted to congratulate you on your sobriety. That's huge, especially knowing everything that I do about you and knowing what you've gone through. So I wanted to congratulate you.
I'm at loss for words right now because you don't owe me an apology. You guys did it.
No, I do, because I mean I was in there under less than honest reasons, and I was, I will say this, talking back and forth with a certain person. I'm not going to say their name in here because it doesn't need to be brought up, but I feel like if I didn't apologize, I would be in the wrong.
I appreciate that, really, I do.
Alrighty, that's all I
And I
wanted to
accept
say.
it.
You have a beautiful rest of your day, Jen. Thank you
I
for letting me
appreciate
up,
it.
Florida man.
Yeah, of course. So
I mean,
Neighborhood Watch is a good guy.
I want to forgive everybody. I do. I forgive everybody. It's just everybody rode so hard for accountability on me, and I know I can't control anybody's life because I can't. I'm just learning how to control mine still, you know. And
Yeah,
I'm just at loss for words right now. Sorry.
it's all a part of it. Neighborhood Watch is a good guy. Neighborhood Watch does what he feels is morally correct at the time, and as we all do. And sometimes what we feel is morally correct at the time may not be right overall in the long run, because we got different ideas and we see it from a different view. And with more information that comes out, it becomes more clear that it was just exaggerated and made bigger than it was to make people think that you were content for their platform, which you're not.
You got a question? Maybe this is for you and Queen up here. When you know you've hurt a lot of people, and you try to right your wrongs as they teach you in recovery, how what do you say when people come to you and say that they're sorry for what they've done to you? I don't know what to say to them when they do that.
Well,
That's, that's where conversation comes in.
yeah. I mean, you have that conversation, and it's up to you whether you accept it or not. You know, that's totally on you. Just like
I would,
when we make our amends, it's up to them to accept our apology.
so I
And
will
when
say
they,
that it's really
if we
big.
don't accept their, if we don't accept, sorry, for a minute, when we don't accept their apology, isn't that still holding on to the past, which can lead us back, you know,
Exactly. So that's when you have to, you know,
you
you
have to forgive.
you have to the forgiveness part. What people need to understand, forgiveness is for you. It's not for them, right? That forgiveness is for you. It's not for the other person. We can't hold on to that baggage because those resentments will lead you back down the dark road.
Yeah, and I don't want to go backwards.
So
Never.
it's the forgiving part is for you. It's not for anybody else. It's for you.
And I will say, Neighborhood Watch did a great example of doing that, because Neighborhood Watch didn't have to admit that, and I am proud of him for doing that. That was a big step for him. I like that, the honesty. More people should do that. More people should be like, "Hey, I was on this fake account, my bad." And it's a process from that apology. You think about it. If you get to know Neighborhood Watch, he's a good guy, a really good
He
guy.
is really good.
Sorry, I wanted to hop up here and say one more thing to Jen. I also wanted to apologize for comparing you to a person in my life and using that as a insult. At one point, I had compared you to my mother, and I can say with 100% honesty is that you are nothing like her, because unlike my biological mother, you are actually taking accountability for the things that you've done in your past, and you are willing to accept your faults and move forward and try to make amends.
And learn from them. I'm really, that's my main goal, is to learn from every step I
Absolutely.
take forward in life. And I've, like I said, I've not really been on the app off and on, but I've spent more time for me and getting to know me and work on me. And that's the best thing I ever could have done.
And that's the important
Absolutely.
part.
Because I
All
also
right.
had to do the 12 steps on being addicted to TikTok as well.
We, a lot of people, So, a lot of people, a lot of us addicts, we have that addictive personality, right? We'll trade one addiction for another. I've seen it done. Hell, I did it. I got addicted to TikTok. I got addicted to the drama. So you have to step back. You have to be vigilant in your recovery. You have to set those boundaries and stick to them. You have to put yourself first. You have to be, selfish with your in it.
And Hensley brought up a good point. I work too much, and I think I've switched my addiction to working because I work every day. I haven't had a day off in 2 months.
I feel that.
But
Trust me. But also, I wanted to speak on, like, we can sit here and talk about, and this is a neighborhood watch. Him and a few other friends is the reason why I speak on it. We can talk about the addict, right? What we've done in addiction, who we've hurt, who's hurt us. But I think a lot of people fail to realize that the family that we hurt. What about our family members that went through it with us? That we hurt. What about the kids of the addicts that have hurt and struggled? What about the brothers and the sisters and the parents of the addicts? So I mean, addictions just don't affect the addict, right? It affects everybody around, and it does not discriminate.
And doesn't it come full circle when you're in recovery that everything you've done, you now have to face, and it's all this all at once. Every single person, family member, person on the internet, everybody that you assume to have done wrong, all
Mm-hmm.
hits you all at once.
Yep. Yep. That's why we work the steps, and we work those steps to build up to making the amends. And it's not just you don't just work the steps and once and done. I wished it was like that, but it's not. You're going to rework those steps every time. When you're done with that 12th step, guess what? You're going to start over and you're going to work them steps again, over and over. Because I promise you, when you take that personal inventory, you're going to find new stuff. When, you come across, there's going to be something else that pops up that you got to work on. There's going to be another person that you forgot that you have to make amends to. So it's never, you're constantly working that program, working those steps. It's never, you don't get a day off from it.
and let me ask you this: do you do this too? Like with any problem that comes up in your life, you sit down and you start working them 12 steps for each problem in your life. You know,
You
like
got to play that tape
anything,
all the way through.
right?
You got to play it all the way through. You got to
That's what
weigh
I
the
do.
cons and the pros. If that, you
What
have
have
to
I
you have to
done?
be
And
vigilant.
yep.
That's when I say it's always working the steps. You're always working them. Everybody's recovery is different. What works for me may not work for Jen. What works for Jen may not work for me. So and so. I mean, some people they don't do meetings. Some people do. And you have to find what works for you, and you have to stick with it, and you have to work it.
And if you remember back in the day, Queens, that people would want me to do recovery the way they wanted me to do it.
Yeah.
And then I found out that no, I do it the way I want to do it, you know?
And that's what I told you. You find what works for you, and work that program. Work it and keep working it because it's never ending. It's never ending. And when you think, I don't know if you, I don't know what classes you took, but you'll even at one point you're going to get, hey, look, something's going to pop up, and you're going, hey, what you learned in that class is going to come back to you. It's not just the steps. You figure out what works, and you got to keep working it.
Yeah, I take one-on-one counseling right now, and then I do grief counseling because that's a lot of my problem is the grief because I like to hold on to everything. I like to relive
I think
my
I
my
pretty much
my trauma.
think I told you
Yep,
that too, didn't I?
yep. And I took what you said, and I'm working it, and I
You
hopefully
have
you
to.
can see it.
There, I do see it. I push therapy for everybody. Therapy works. If you find the right therapist, it works. It helped me. It helped my kids.
I'm proud of myself because I never, and you could say this
And
100
that's the
times
first
over.
time I've ever heard you say that, Jen. Can you say it again?
What?
Say it again. What are you
Which
going to
part?
say? What?
About what I was just getting ready to say about
You're proud of yourself?
looking at myself, that I have a problem looking at me, and my counselor, she makes me look at me, and that I that never liked it. To this day I still don't. I don't think I ever will like looking at myself, but I do. Because if I
Mm-hmm.
don't, it's going to lead me backwards, and I'm not going backwards.
I told my therapist, I don't, she said, I'm going to get it to where you love yourself. I said, I don't care if I ever love myself. I just
That's
want to
exactly
like
what I
me.
said.
I just want to like who I am. And today I love who I am. You'll get there.
Yeah.
It
I
takes
could
time,
actually
but
get
you'll
up
get
out of
there.
bed and look at myself in the mirror and smile, and I never really used to do that. Like, I would always look in the mirror, but not really look in the mirror, you know what I'm saying? And I hated me, man, and I took it out on everybody around me.
We all did. We all did.
Hi guys.
Hey,
Hey Jen, I've been listening. I don't know you. I've not watched you. But I've been listening to you speak for the past couple of times that you've been in Florida Man's Box. And man, at first I'm sorry that people do this to other people. And that is something I'm struggling with. Like, I don't know what is it that makes people see somebody that's down and want to kick them while they're there. And also, why are we giving those kind of people platforms to be able to do that to other people? I'm really at a loss because like I'm very and always have been very anti-scam. And it's for that reason exactly. Like anything could have happened to that woman and nobody took that into consideration. Like nobody spoke up for her and said, "Hey, this is a little much, like quit."
Yes, people did, but people got bashed endlessly for doing it, and then that set the example to not do it. I never followed along like closely with the Gen stuff, so I never looked how deep it got. But looking at what everybody else says versus who Jen is today, she has made so much for leaps and bounds of progress compared to what everyone else says, compared to who she is today. But the recognition from the people that want to keep her down is not there because they still cannot allow her to move forward because they feel like it invalidates their whole platform if she recovers.
I
And it's
think that's
gross.
so that's such a sick perspective. You know, I don't know. I lose hope in humanity every day by this stuff. I'm going through my own little thing with Scammy Claus right now, Jen, and I think that's kind of where I'm going. Why does such a large group of people listen, bite, and harass on behalf of her? That is blowing my mind.
I might be able to answer that. They feel good about themselves
Just
when they do
Duchess
it.
of Dallas, you know exactly who I am. Please
I
don't.
do got something to say though, real quick. I do have an apology to make to you, TikTok streets,
Oh
because
wow.
Scam Slam and a Scammy Clause was in my Discord, and then off the app in emails, and they kind of like had me thinking that you were like raising money for bad things or whatever. And then yes, I did talk shit, not on the app, but behind your back I was talking shit. And if I seen you live or whatever and I didn't think they seen you, I'd be messaging them and stuff like that. And I apologize for that, for listening to them, and I
Wow.
apologize.
So I'm up here advocating, and then you were literally taking part in the same thing. You can't do that, man.
Yep, I
Yeah,
did.
that is
I hold
wrong.
myself
Yeah,
accountable on
but do
that.
you see? But do you see what I'm saying? Like, how did you get there? How did you look at a woman that hurt you so bad, and go, yeah, I think that's a good person I should trust. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Because I was I was so far beat down by the other group of women that had did me wrong that I was starving for a friendship. And 1 minute Scammy loves me, next minute she hates me. You know, it goes on and on.
Yeah, but
And
well then that's fuck her, because that's emotional manipulation, and you got to take your power back and not allow her to do that to you. You're a
Right.
fucking human being. You're
So
a fucking human being. She's treating you like her pawn. By the way, I
yes,
hate that fucking whore. Can I tell all what 235 of you? I hate that fat fucking whore. How do you like me now?
I wanted to be
a lot.
accepted somewhere,
But
you know.
there's only 34 of us in here. Don't get too hefty on them numbers.
Down, Jen. I'm
But
proud of you.
I might,
Thank you.
might be able to tell you why. Because Scammy Claus created such an environment for Jen that was so negative that I believe Jen may have needed Scammy Claus's validation so she could feel like she could end all that negativity. So she was trying to get that validation from Scammy Claus, thinking that she was doing the best thing in her best interest, if you know what I mean. But she wasn't, and it is emotional manipulation. It is gross.
It's hurtful stuff, man. Like she's just out here openly hurting people, right? And people are watching, participating, and allowing it by giving her the platform to do it. Like that's where I am with it, because I'm just not a fan of it. I've never been a fan of other people's pain, man. Never will you see me do that. In fact, if I see somebody in that kind of position, I'm more so going to speak up for them. I'm just tired of that mentality.
Right? And that is one reason why I'm pretty universally hated on this app, is because when I talk, I can't not hear the other side. Like, I couldn't not hear Jen's side. I couldn't not hear Lisa's side. I couldn't not hear Bougie's side or Mitten's side, or you name it. Anybody that has hated me for ever liking anybody, they can do that. I appreciate them wanting to stay away from me, because I can't have that around me. I would rather be nice and fair to people than be hateful towards people for no fucking reason. And all of the people following Scammy Claus, Bash and Jen, have just bashed her to bashed her. There's no positive updates. And if there is, there's a negative one following it, because the positivity didn't bring them numbers that they want. And it's a really gross way to do things, and I really hope Scammy Claus is ashamed of herself, as well as everybody else who has promoted it as like the head of a platform against her, or anybody else that they're currently doing it to.
All I know, like, man, and that's why I even said something to Duchess of Dallas, because, man, she supports that woman through and through. And I can't accept that. If that's what you support and that's what you like to watch and that's like what you like to participate in, I don't want you in any of my spaces ever. Like, I'm done with it. I'm done. And I'm sorry that she even used me to manipulate you. That's terrible. It's
That's
terrible.
what I was gonna say.
I just can't, man.
Thank you, never question. And it's weird that she has some vendetta against Snark. I'm not sure what it is.
I know what it is. I know where it started. I already talked about it. Like, she knows where it started. And then her racism took over. So it was off to the races after that.
There's that.
So it's ridiculous.
He ain't lying about that one. It's wild how the vendetta of like people like Scammy Claus, they just get hooked on not being able to be wrong. And that's why Jen, they try to make it harder for you to take positive steps forward, because every positive step you take forward, it hurts them in a way that they should be hurt. If people are hurt by people's growth, well, they should hurt. Maybe they should try to grow themselves.
I told everybody that there'd be stuff come out that people didn't want to hear, but I have to get it out.
Oh yeah.
No, I mean, I appreciate it. Yeah, it would have been. I mean, it doesn't. I don't really know you, Jen. So, and that's something too. I don't know. I'm not gonna, because those situations, in fact, do happen where people do get mentally and emotionally manipulated by people all the time. And I don't know, it's predatory behavior if you ask me. That's what it reminds me of. Somebody that's just looking for somebody who they find is weaker than them in some way and using their weaknesses for their gain. And that is just a bad human being. Like that's not even a persona or a game or an act that you're putting on for the internet. Even if it's so-called quote unquote entertainment, that's not what it is. It's harmful.
That's exactly what, like, Amanda Kay would always tell me that, as long as you're being honest, you have nothing to worry about. Because your honesty is you being truthful. And your truth is your truth, but you need to get it out and let it out, or your life is going to continue to spiral. And I didn't want my life to spiral, so that's why I said to Florida Man, I said, it's now. I've got to do this.
Yeah, I never advertise Jen because Jen is not content. I'll never tell anybody when she's going to come up to a box. It's her choice completely. Hell, I might not even know. I didn't know this time, but it's always going to be for any kind of talk that she has, for any kind of conversation that she has about her story. It's always going to be random. You're never going to know when it's going to happen, because I'm never going to push that she is going to be live with me at any point in time, because she is not content. I don't want views based off of somebody else, or to build some kind of excitement. Especially, I don't want to let people know, because, well, there's some assholes out there that are just gross. And it's really sick to look at them. And Duchess, I like Snark, so whatever she went after you for, you're going to have to settle that with her. But I'm on Snark's side.
Who? Who?
I don't know what he said. I didn't hear him.
All
Are
right,
you talking to?
I don't know.
You misunderstood?
I misunderstood Duchess, maybe.
Yeah, I think Duchess of Dallas is maybe having or words with her. I don't know. Listen, Duchess of Dallas, it's okay, listen. Perfect example, right? Duchess of Dallas, I have broken communication with you. I have blocked you. You cannot communicate with me. I don't even think I want to say that you are blocked on, maybe not this account, but you're definitely blocked on my main. I do that for a reason. It's because I do not want discourse with you. You know who I am. You know what our problem is, but you will pretend that you don't. I accept that. I just don't want the discourse.
I've muted her for the whole life. Out of respect for my friendship with Snark, I'm not going to allow her to do that. So, back to business.
Yeah, that's what it was. She wanted the argument, and I just can't do it.
She can sit and listen. No offense to her. It's just, we
No, I mean, yeah, absolutely. She should listen, because she should learn something about being manipulated. You know what I mean? She might learn something.
Yeah. If people want to come with an open mind and actually have a conversation and not use "it's my opinion" as a way to slander somebody, that's great. If you want to use "it's my opinion" as a way to harass somebody and to degrade somebody, your opinion's not valid. You will be muted. You also won't get a box if I don't know who you are. If I don't know you and trust you, I'll be damned if you get in a box, because you're not going to pop up here and say some fuck shit.
Unless you're me the other night that went to hit the X and hit accept and didn't know it until the fake account was in the...
Right.
I was like, what the fuck?
People are going to say Reddit, it's going to blow up on Reddit. Oh, they're coddling Jen. No, we're allowing Jen to exist as who she is, to express herself, to tell her side of things, to get encouragement from people. That's not coddling. That's helping Jen progress. That's encouraging positivity instead of whatever the fuck all of you are doing that are over in the Reddit and over on other lives and just talking shit. That's weird. Glad I'm not y'all. It's okay to see somebody do better.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you something.
They also say that I'm always looking, trying to be relevant, trying to look for a place to sit or whatever. And I actually, I did go to Florida Man and asked him because I can easily go on my live, right? But I don't know how to word things properly or say things properly sometimes. And sometimes I want to jump ahead, and he keeps it like slow your roll. We'll get to that part. Let's just slow your roll, and yeah, that's why I choose to do it here because he helps keep in mind like slow your roll. We'll get there when we get there.
I'm not out for the quote, as you put it, juicy stuff. It'll come when it comes, but it's all got to come out in some kind of structured way. That way, it's beginning to end. And it may not happen all in one day. It definitely didn't, and it definitely won't happen in 2 or 3 or 4. There's some times where feelings have to be unwound before you can really feel comfortable about saying things. And that takes time, and as much time as you need. There's no rush. Don't worry about setting places. You can sit here. It's okay. You don't have to gift me to sit here. You don't have to have any obligations to sit here and listen, take a box talk, any of that. The people that are just constantly negative towards you will be muted. Don't pay attention to them. There's a difference between being negative and constructive. You can have concerns, but be constructive with your criticism. Don't be just straight negative with it.
Yeah, Starbeast. I was about to say something about that because who gets to say how Jen exists on the internet? Like, who gets to dictate that and determine how she gets to exist here? Like, she's her own free person to have her own platform, just like everybody else. Nobody can dictate or determine how she's going to do that. I think a lot of us got a lot of fucking nerve.
I mean, look how I started. Look how I started this. It's always been about negativity, and now that I'm being positive and trying to grow and be more positive and let go of all that negativity, I mean, this is how I got to do it. I want to come on here and
You leave that negativity with them. As you let it out, let them keep it. If they want it, they can have it. They can keep being negative. And the way Rim is doing it is absolutely the correct way. Being respectful, showing grace, giving you space, asking questions when they come up, but in a constructive way, not in a demeaning way where people come in and just want to be dicks.
and that was my biggest problem. Like I would run to Reddit and see what they say about me, and then I'd run to TikTok and put it on there, and I'd have to always say something. That's where that addiction to TikTok and stuff come in at, and I've
Wasn't that exhausting? It is, right? Because I've done that. And it's so fucking exhausting. That's like a full
yep.
time job fighting those battles, man.
Everybody needs a support system, and I thought I had it, and that group of ladies was not it. They played me, and when they played me, that's I felt myself start to go downhill a little bit, and then I had to kick myself back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and a lot of their problem is like the people that they've tried to paint so evil. Me, Snark, a lot of people in the chat. You can scroll through the chat and you can see 34 people for sure that they've tried to paint as evil. It's actually nice, and they're just afraid that people are going to see Jen take positive steps forward and move away from their negativity, and they're afraid that the picture they've tried to paint about all of us will slowly go away. I don't care about that picture though. Paint it worse. I'm good with it. What they think does not matter to me because what they think is all negative. Is there a medication for that?
But for them to do what they did and play me like I had a support system and everything just to drop me and say the awful things that they said, they were hoping that I would have went backwards that day, and I didn't. And that shows to myself and looking at myself in the mirror that shows growth right there in me because I could have easily went backwards and I didn't. So that does show how strong of a person I am.
Yeah, it does. And it shows the positive steps forward. And that what they think, that doesn't really matter. what they think is their opinion from a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. And honestly, if they're not willing to change that opinion and have an open mind going forward, it says more about them as people than it does you, Jen.
Right.
How can people be so close-minded? That's the weird part. Makes
And
that
then I
like
realized
actually.
they were just there to do a job, and it just I kick myself in the ass every day.
Oh, don't. It's experience. It's experience that made you put safeguards in place for you to where you take things as slow as you want. Don't let nobody push no information at you because information you have, as it can be damaging to like scammy calls and all that, that's not the point. It's a side effect, but that's not the point. The point is you being positive. The point is not to destroy anybody. But that also gives time for Scammy Claus and Dora and T and a lot of other people to really come out and be completely honest about their involvement. And that's what I want everybody to do. I don't want to have to put stuff out. I will. But wouldn't it be better if they were accountable for themselves to say, yeah, I did this fuck shit here. It's going to come out anyways, so let me just tell it. I think it's time for everybody to be honest, and I think it's time for everybody to stop looking at Jen like she's 100% of the problem. Because right now she's 0% of the problem, and everybody else makes 100% of the problem.
It just looked like with that video that I sent you, where Scammy is talking to my daughter and to one of my sisters, where she says, I reached out, that she reached out to them. Why bring kids and stuff into it? I can't even. I mean, I've tried. On my daughter's birthday, I reached out to her and told her happy birthday and that I loved her and that I'd like to have a chance to talk to her. And I didn't think I was going to get a response back, but my daughter texted me back and said, thank you. Those right there was like Christmas morning.
That's progress. People like scamming, they're actual abusers, like real deal. Their abusers come in many shapes and many forms and many ways, and scamming is one of them. That contacting your family, that was just escalation because they couldn't spin the story anywhere else, and contacting family was just another negative spin they could put on it to sensationalize you being a villain that much more. And it's sad that they did it all because they can't grow. They can't be better people without looking at somebody they deem below them. They don't have the ideology that everybody's equal, whether in addiction, asking for money, or living in a quote $1 million house. Jen is no better than Scammy Claus, and Scammy Claus is no better than Jen. They're equal. And why Scammy Claus can't see that? That's a flaw in her character.
I think they all would have been proud if I did follow through with what I did and wasn't around anymore. I think that they would have been happy because that's where they were pushing me to.
SP was the one that found Jen. Well, I don't see SP continue to this day.
Exactly
SP
what Rim just said.
SP's busy doing her own thing. And I mean, honestly, SP could come up here. I've talked to her too. I know a lot of people don't like her, but I've never really had any issues with her because I let people exist and do what they do. That is what it is, though.
That's where they got my dad on screen, and the last things I ever would have heard from Dad was they got him to say that he hated me online. That'll never leave my head. And my dad died the day I graduated rehab.
Yeah, I misunderstood. SP found your family. Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, a lot of people's guilty in a lot of things, and people escalate it, and people bring it up. And it's all content for people to talk about on Reddit, and their little echo chamber of people. I'm going to go make another Reddit account. I'm going to post something positive in there about Jen. And I'm going to either watch that account get tore up or watch that comment get deleted. What House of Lies said, your dad sees you doing better.
Sorry, you're gonna have to give me a minute.
I'll take all the time you need.
I sent all the messages, Rim, from Earl to Florida Man, and it'll prove he never really said that Dad was sick.
I haven't. But that's not something that I'm going to
He
put
would just
out.
make fun of me in text messages.
So
You
that's
guys gotta
personal.
understand what my siblings say and do. It's two different things. They'll tell you till you're blue in the face that yeah, they did that. But behind the scenes, no, no. I've always been the black sheep, always will be. They'll never forgive me for my past, which that's fine. That I'm gonna keep doing me, and I'm gonna keep achieving my goals, and I'm gonna keep moving forward.
And as you move forward, you'll see that more opportunities open up and more healthy opportunities open up. It just takes a longer amount of time and more effort to get to the healthy opportunities than it does the unhealthy ones. The unhealthy ones aren't as stable as the healthy ones. And it's worth it to put that extra work in. And you put in a lot of work in now, and healthier opportunities are open up. Nobody here is out to take advantage of you or press you for information. I want to reinforce that because I feel like that's been a lot of what you've experienced. No genuine connection with anybody, just how can you help them further their narrative against you? And that's kind of fucked up.
I mean, everybody's got to look at it from my aspect and my point of view. I have family members that hate me. I have a sister that runs a whole TikTok page of me, Cindy Woods, and talks bad about me. And at the end of the day, all I want is to look at them and say I'm sorry, and to show them how and what I've achieved and how I've become a better person.
Well,
But
tell them with your
how can
actions.
I do that when they're always talking to Dora? They're always talking to T. My brother sent T stuff of my mom's, and they didn't even let me have nothing.
Show them with actions. Show them with actions. Show them with progress. Show them with results. That's how you tell them. And maybe one day they'll see they were wrong, but maybe one day they'll never change. But that's not something that you should be worried about changing because that will happen over time with progress if it's going to happen. You shouldn't worry about what other people are doing, what other people are saying, how other people act. Just worry about your path forward and the positivity that you're doing for yourself. It sounds self-centered, but sometimes we gotta be.
Let me narrate that. At that time, I think that's my brother right there. At that time, I didn't get anything right after Mom had passed. And then I find out that Earl sent something, like a statue or a little something or something to T. That is a proven fact. And then when I was working at McDonald's, when everybody said that I wasn't working, that's when another sibling had somebody else bring me that stuff to me.
I
And
got a
all they
question.
was pictures. I didn't get none of Mom's stuff
Quick
like a shirt
question.
of Mom's.
What did
I got the
T?
blanket that I bought Mom. I got
What
that
did
back. But
what did T even want with that stuff?
do what?
What did T even want with that stuff?
I don't know. Earl and my family is friends with T and Dora now, I guess. Because I have it recorded where Earl was talking to T on live and asked her did she receive that of Mom's.
One second, Jen. Earl down there. What was T sent stuff for? Like, did she want it? What was the point behind it? Why did she send it? Do your best guess as to why she sent it.
The only thing I got was pictures that a sibling had divided up to
That's fine.
everybody. And
Give
they're
me
trying to get me to say the name, and I'm not going to because there's a protection order.
one second.
That's how they work.
One second. She was stealing it. So Holly was stealing y'all's mom's stuff and sending it to T.
They all knew that I was getting pictures because they divided up the pictures among all of us kids, and I finally got my little stack. And he's a li- he was he's a liar. I'll tell you later, Florida man.
But yeah, there's all sides to everything, and everybody should be heard in a positive way, in a constructive way. But if she was stealing it, what would be your best guess that she was sending it to T? Like, what does T have to do with anything of anybody's stuff? Huh? That's weird.
Okay, she didn't know it was being sent. Okay, but what about me? I'm flesh and blood. Don't I deserve something of mom's too?
Do you guys think it was something that she did just to take a dig at Jen?
Hey, we
Hey,
had
Rose.
no idea. I was there. We had no idea Holly was doing that shit. No clue until people received boxes. And then we turned around and got Earl's address so it could be sent back. It was not Earl.
It was just another tactic in hurting me.
But
It
we
could have
didn't
been.
know it was happening.
But hold on, go into this with an open mind, Jen. If they didn't know it was happening, did you guys take care of it? Like, get that all sorted out?
Yes, I was talking to Earl at the time and got his address so we could send the stuff back. We had no
I'm sorry. What did you
idea.
say again?
We had no idea it was being done until stuff started showing up on
It
people's
doesn't matter
doors.
that nobody had any idea.
Well,
Why
it
would you
does.
send a total stranger on the internet something of mom's that when mom passed away, why not give it to a sibling that didn't get anything? Why
I
send it
get,
to somebody on the internet?
We're
I get
saying the
both
same
sides.
thing.
I get both sides. I do. But this is more of a private conversation, I think, because
Yeah, it is.
it's a,
But I'm
it's a
just,
it's a very emotional topic, and I think Jen was very hurt by Holly sending that stuff to everybody else. And I think with as much as Jen has been grouped up on, may have taken it as an insult from everybody. But I believe Graham and Earl when they say that they didn't know that she was stealing the stuff and sending it to everybody. So that's a Holly thing. I don't think the blame for that can be pushed off onto everybody else. But also, I'll talk to you privately about it.
But
That way,
Earl also said that he wanted me gone, and you have that text message as well.
okay, I'm going to leave now because I know the other side of this story and I'm in the comments.
okay, I appreciate your room. I do have that text message, and some of this we got to go over, and like I got to ask like full details behind it. 'Cause I'm looking at it from all sides because in positions that people are in, there's got to be stuff that's got to be unpacked. How we see things from like my perspective of getting a text message and reading it, I have to remember that I wasn't there. That there's the context, the attitude, the tone, anything that happened outside of that conversation that led up to that conversation, I was not there for. So that's where I got to go into detail and like conversate about it. No, I don't think she's lying to me. I think she's telling me what she believes is true. But I think beliefs can be clouded and blame can be given to a lot of people, especially when in the position that she's in. It takes a lot to open up. It takes a lot to talk. And as House of Lies
I just
says,
want to
she wants
say,
to
just real quick, I'm sorry, I just
yeah.
want to say real quick, I know what I've done. I know I ran mom and dad's name into the ground. I know I did. I wasn't the best daughter. I know that. But they see what I have achieved. I see what I have achieved. Why can't the family see that? You don't give up on family. Not one time have I given up on them. And each one of them knew where I was homeless at and everything. Earl used to bring me food when I was in a hotel.
I've got a question for Earl. Where in the
He
rule book
helped me
says
behind the scenes and wouldn't tell nobody online.
that's okay? Give me 1 second. Let me talk to Earl real quick. Hey, so where in the rule book does it says people can't tell their story more than once? That's fine. But the thing is it's got to be, it's working it out between everybody. Everybody has, this isn't so Jen can be free of whatever happened in the past. Okay?
What am I lying about?
It's okay. This is to show that Jen has made progress, and that if people want to talk it out, work it out, and get all of their sides out, they can, absolutely. I'll mediate those conversations. I'll be fair, right down the middle with it. As I said, it's not T's fault. It's not anybody's fault that Holly went and didn't tell anybody she was sending packages to everybody. That's something that I'll explain with Jen privately and get how she feels about it. But at the end of the day, maybe she just wants people to know how it made her feel. It made her feel like she was excluded from that, and that hurt. So understanding and an open mind goes a long way with all parties in this. Hey, Nikki.
Hey, Ken. Remember how we were talking about the recovery, or in recovery, forgiveness is for you. And I know it sucks, and I know it hurts when your family is against you, and all you want to do is just make that amends, and want to be back, have a family again. And I get it, because I've been in your shoes. Trust me, I've been there. Okay, but if you have to let them come. They have to come to terms with it, right? They have to be willing to accept it. So you have to. It sucks. It really does suck, but you have to let them, be open to have a conversation, be open to and willing to forgive. Am I making sense?
Yeah, and like they still say that I'm deceiving and lying. I am not lying. I'm here to tell the truth.
I
But
get
they
that.
don't want to. They don't want to show what they've done.
Real quick, Jen, real quick.
Okay, and that's why privately, that's why it would have to be handled privately, like with a conversation. That way she can be more vulnerable at one-on-one instead
Yeah,
of
that's what I was going to
Yeah.
say. Don't put all that out here. That's what I was going to say. The more you put out here, the more people will use against you. So if you need to write me or Nikki in our inbox, Nikki and I can both give you some great advice. But stop getting on here and giving these dumbasses what they want. They want you to come on here. They want you to cry. They want you to give them reasons to talk shit about you. Stop. You have changed. You have tried to make your amends. You are doing every step of the process you
this
need
is
to
also
do. Do not give them the satisfaction of anything.
this is the step in the process too. It's healthy for her to be able to get up in front of people and
My
not be
brother started
trashed,
saying it.
and that's
Yeah,
okay.
and that's what
The
I told
family
her. That's
stuff,
what I told her. Mm-hmm.
the family stuff should have never been public, but it was. But that's why privately, like
It
I'll have
was,
a phone call,
unfortunately.
we'll unpack all of that and be able to. I'll be able to determine how you feel, and I'll listen, I'll understand, but I'll also tell you the other side that I see from it too, on parts. And if I don't know the other side, I'll reach out to like Earl or Ren or something like that and talk to them.
In my defense, Earl was starting to say stuff in the chat first, and
But you don't need to defend yourself.
Yeah, you don't have to
It's
defend yourself here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just real quick, and I'm going to jump down. Again, if you need anything, Jen, my inbox is open. You've always wrote me, and I just want to ask a question. We always beg Lisa Richards to get clean and say we would give her another chance and we would forgive her and all the things. Why can't Jen get that same extension? Why can't she get that same?
That part, Hensley.
Why can't we do the same for her?
that's a wonderful point that Hensley has right there. And I think Hensley, say that again for everybody.
We always beg Lisa Richards. We've always told Lisa Richards that she could just get clean and show us progress. We would forgive everything she's done. And she's done 10 times worse than Jen. Let's be completely honest with each other. And we always say we would just magically forgive Lisa Richards. So why can't we extend that same olive branch to Jen? Why can't we give her that chance? If she messes up, guess what? We all have. Queen Witch, me. When we started recovery, do you know how many times we fucked up and failed and had to restart?
Yep.
So that's a great point. And I think people should clip that point and listen to it over and over again, because is that olive branch to Lisa Richards even genuine? Or are people just saying that to make themselves look good in public? Because Jen is doing significantly better. And shouldn't people be offering the same thing and acting on that too? I'm going to clip that part of the live that you just said that, Hensley. I'm going to post that. I think that was.
I think like I said, it's that part. What Hensley says. You know, people don't understand, and I've said this before, you don't know what it's like to be in active addiction. And I'm sorry, my dog is being so loud right now. You don't know what it's like to be in active addiction. You don't know the dark places and what lengths you're willing to go to get that fix. And I pray that nobody does know that. I pray that you never feel that. I don't want anyone to ever go through that. But until you've gone through it, you don't really know what it's like. You don't know what lengths you'll go to get that fix. You don't know what what lies you'll tell, who you're, listen, I can sit here and tell you stories from my active addiction, how I ripped off my best friend of years of $500 so I could go get my fix. How I stole from family members.
I was about to say I stole from my own mama. So
I stole, from my mom, my dad, my brothers to get my fixed.
And my brother stolen from me.
Yep. So it's the darkness of the sickness. You're going to do what you've got to do to get that fix.
And I would like to point out that family members are going to be a little more. The feelings are going to be a lot harsher with family and between family. So that's why I'm not trying to take what Earl says and give it no credit, because the family has to be heard too, but constructively. And that stuff has to be unpacked in a more private manner, because y'all's family issues should not be aired out over the internet in front of 34 people. You know what I mean?
Hey. I'm definitely not the same person as I used to be. And I see it every day. I see it. And I don't, it don't matter what anybody says. As long as I see it, that's all that matters.
Right.
I'm a totally different person than what I used to be.
Show progress. Mallory, you came up.
Yeah, okay, so I can't speak on addiction and things like that, but what I can say is that I think if you are wanting to heal, and this is just my advice to you from somebody who has grown up with situations in life that I have had to learn from. I grew up with a bipolar mother, and I spent a lot of time blaming her for a lot of the insecurities I had in my life. And it took me learning that one thing I have to do in order to really release kind of that negativity that I'm holding inside, irregardless of anyone else's input into it, you have to be very careful in taking accountability for the way things made you feel, but also remembering, and this is something I've learned with this app, you can't always just say your perception is and that's why it's important to say, it made me feel. You can't always enforce your perception on other people, because when you did say the thing about T, I will say it did come off at first as if she knowingly accepted those gifts, and that she basically kind of did it out of a vindictive nature. And it ended up kind of going into a negative for you, because then it became a conversation of, it was, one of your sisters that did it to you. T didn't really do it. And for me, what I'm hearing is that you have a lot of emotions, and instead of kind of identifying how things made you feel and being able to recover from that, you're kind of putting a lot of encompassing blame on people. And so I think you need to sit down and really recognize situations and understand how it got to that point, and then be able to identify, when this happened, this is how it made me feel. So when T and others did receive gifts from one of my family members, that made me feel. So that way, I think for you, what that's going to do is maybe help you understand a little bit more in terms of your own feelings, but also possibly kind of diminish some of the retroactive responses that are coming your way too, so that you're not blaming people, you're saying this is how I remember it happened. And it gives you the chance to own that feeling and really have that sense of like moving on.
So I got a question for you, Mallory, and your answer might help Jen put this into perspective. When you're being attacked by hundreds of people, do you feel like your anger is wider? Like you feel like you have to attack a wider place to make more of them stop?
Oh, absolutely. Like when you and I were fighting, anybody that sat with you, I thought was a piece of shit. Like I blamed everybody for everything. Like, and I had to learn to like take myself out of it and look at the actions that I did that could have hurt somebody. Because you might have gotten on that live that night and like said you were going to come to my job, but I had played that clip not knowing even what was going to come out of it before that. So if I had like done my research and thought about it and looked into, well, has this already been brought to attention? We might not have even had that interaction. So it wasn't either like it wasn't just like you did terrible things to me. I had to learn to recognize that I was behaving in a way that was receiving the response of that action too. And
Yes.
it doesn't always mean that you deserve that reaction, but when you can understand your role in it, you can take your accountability while also voicing your feelings and being able to own that. And I will tell you that's infinitely more satisfying than ever hearing anybody else say I'm sorry, because you're able to grow from that.
Right. And I
Okay,
think
can I say something? Can I say
yes,
something?
of course.
I appreciate that, Mallory, and I know how all this started. All this started because I came to social media and decided to talk bad about my family just to get people to send me money because I was homeless and I was trying to survive. I know how it all started, but I have a problem still talking about mom and dad because they're not here. And I'm going to give you a little thing. I was lied on about damaging my mom's headstone, and people came at me so many ways, and then they decided to go on social media and say that they lied about it.
Right. People will sensationalize things and blame things and point at people and say they did this just to rile people up to get them to do that coming after you. And Mallory and I are the biggest example that anybody can see of. I started it and I kept it going by using what Mallory responded with as a way to fuel the fire. Even though I, for no reason, said what I said. I didn't know Mallory, never had a conversation with her. I was just a cocky dickhead. And yeah, that was wrong. And I take responsibility for all the people that eventually followed, made accounts, and go after Mallory because I was her first beef. And I feel like I made it cool to hate on Mallory. And that doesn't sit too well with me. But I still take responsibility for it as much as I can. And I think that's why the opportunity for Scammy Claus, T, and Dora to just come out and say, yeah, we fucked up. We took it a little too far. And here's the truth. It's good.
I get that, and I'm not like speaking ill on anybody involved in this situation because I don't really even know the whole story. I'm just saying, like, from my perspective, I know that my healing, especially with things that happen on this app with other people, it really came with sitting down and being able to say, when this happened, this is how it made me feel. um, because number one, people are going to understand you a little bit more, and I know that your intent is not to put blame, I think, on any one person, but invariably what's happening is it it kind of almost feels as if it's like a combative thing, so the people that are hearing it are going to come on and then it's going to continue and it'll be a cycle. Just, I mean, like Smashly and I, Smashly would come on and say something, I would come on and say something, Smash would respond, I would respond. Like we went for
Yep,
5
that part.
fucking
Yep.
months, and I just essentially had to, I spent about 2 or 3 weeks off the app, and it really took a lot of self-reflection. And I have been blaming her the whole time, but if I didn't want this to happen, I could have just not responded. And it doesn't make what they did to you right. It just gives you, in my opinion, that sense of ownership over yourself, which is empowering in its own way, because you're not a victim. You're not subject to other people's whims. You're capable of recognizing and growing and being able to see that, like, you are human, you are allowed to have your emotions. We all fuck up, we all do stupid shit, but you, at the end of the day, can reflect on the things and recognize how it made you feel and emotionally grow from that.
And my family also said that I was lying about my DV, and that is
That's okay.
so wrong.
The family stuff we're gonna have to talk about off of the app, because I think
That's the
it's a
problem.
lot
They
easier.
won't even talk to me off the app.
No, like me and you, we'll unpack it and we'll see what's up.
Okay.
They'll talk to me. They'll talk to Graham. They'll talk to Mallory. They'll talk to somebody, and it can all converge into the information getting to reasonable people. Now we ain't gonna be able to fix it. Like, don't expect a fix. Expect
It's not ever going to be fixed, probably.
expect an ideology that'll make you feel better along your path of making progress. As you make progress, things will settle into place, and they will be how they will be. And you have to accept them, because choices that we make in the past, we can't fix all of them. And you got to just
Rim would probably be a good person for that situation.
Yes.
Also, kind of oversell and under anticipate the responses or the eventual interactions that you're going to have. So, in my opinion, I would look at it more as if you are not expecting, or there's no expectation of ever having a conversation with anybody, but you can still try to show that you've grown, show that you would like to have that conversation. And if they want to do that, that's on them. If they don't, you have to learn to find a way to be okay and heal without that conversation, because it's not always going to happen. When we fuck up and we hurt somebody, or there's a lot of emotions involved, it could take 5 years for one of your siblings to really want to open up and talk to you. It might never come, but you have to do what's right for you, and you can't just expect that everyone else is going to be able to do that on your time or when you want to do it.
Right. That's why I go to counseling, and I go to group counseling, because I'm learning to deal with it all.
Mallory can put it into words better than I can publicly. I'm just good at the nitpicking, diving deeper into the question to really find the issue. But what Mallory said is exactly right. And that's why it's got to happen off the app, because it's family stuff shouldn't be spread in front of 3 or 4 people. No.
I'm going to get down. I got to go home now, but thank you for letting me up. Jen, literally,
I appreciate you,
just
Mallory.
focus on you, and remember, as long as you're working on yourself, the proof is in the pudding, and there are going to be people, I've learned, that just don't give you a chance to show you've grown, or that you can grow, and you just got to say fuck them and ask people to not send you shit that involves them, and block them, and just be able to see it as a fresh start for you.
Thanks, Mal.
Mallory's got good advice, for sure. I appreciate you coming today. And you speaking on what, me and Jen will be fighting in 2 weeks? I doubt it. Because it's already been far more than 2 weeks that I've been talking to her. So yeah, that stuff, it can bring up some feelings. And this process is never easy at all. I'm not a licensed.
If you want to drop me, you can.
What'd you say?
I didn't know if you wanted to drop me, and I kind of interrupted what you were doing at the beginning.
Oh, no, you're fine. You can come up anytime. I'm not doing anything important. I mean, honestly, yeah. I mean, not even exposing somebody is not important. Lives happen the way they do, and whenever you're comfortable talking, is the right time.
It's as good a time as any, really.
Right. I wouldn't listen to the negativity. The family stuff is rough for sure, and I know that's gotta. Everybody in the situation has to feel a kind of way about it, and nobody's feelings can be invalidated. Everybody's got to feel validated in their feelings, and that just takes time. And with time, those feelings go down with progress. And you can move forward being hopeful, but like Mallory said, don't expect it, but just be hopeful.
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I'm at the store. I'm at
Oh, you're
work,
good.
basically.
So yeah, I think don't let that put you in any negative mood. Everything here has been positive, except for the trolls. But the trolls are going to be who they are. They're always going to be around. They'll get bored eventually, though.
I
Right,
mean, I just want
housewives.
them to. I just want them to. Oh my God, it's gonna make me cry.
Remember what
Doing
Nikki said.
this, right? Doing this recovery, and I'm walking this road. The, the the people you want there the most is not there, and I'm learning to look at me and be proud of me and stuff. But there's always going to be a part of me that wants my brother there, wants my sisters there,
Well,
wants
remember
my
what Nikki
daughter
said
there.
about setting goals and set goals that are achievable in the foreseeable future that you can take step. That's a goal that's going to be you got to take step after step after step. Every step you take forward is a step closer to that, and you just have to set goals that you can realistically achieve in the moment, and not look at the ones that are so far out or further than you can achieve in the moment. Because some things, no matter how bad you want them, you're not going to be able to achieve them in this moment. But when you do achieve them, it would be worth all of the effort that you put in to achieve them.
Yeah, but what plays in the back of my mind, I've seen so many people leave this earth too soon. I don't want to be one of the ones that end up leaving or whatever and not making things right with my family.
Well, don't think negative like that. Think positive. Think that you'll get there eventually. With every positive step you take forward, you will get there eventually. And eventually is made up time that could be any time. It could be tomorrow, next week, a month, a year and a half, 2 years, 5 years. There's no set time limit on people recovering from that because addiction runs and just destroys everything around you. Family.
That's where some of the lies come in at that scam me and everybody's told on me that my family believes, and vice versa.
And
And
as your side comes out and as you send more stuff and as all that comes to light, it's all a process. It's just step after step after step. Putting it all out there like that, like unfiltered, like Earl's conversation with you, I don't think should ever come out. That's something that's like, it's there, but that's not for the public to consume. That saves some privacy between you and your brother. It doesn't bring your brother into stuff that, it doesn't put him in a bad light because we can't just put everybody in a bad light. We have to remember that there has to be a filter there of what's appropriate to come out, what's not appropriate to come out, what's good now, what's good later, what's not good at all. And the family stuff, that's 100% should be kept off the app. It should have never been brought to the app to begin with, but it was. And that one way to fix it is to make efforts to keep it all off the app.
Hey, Jen.
Hey, Bruce.
I just wanted to tell you, congratulations. Keep putting your foot forward. So I do the group counseling and counseling every day. Monday through Friday, I do group counseling. I have 9 years in April, but I still feel like I need counseling every day. One of the biggest things, one of the girls in my counseling group, all she wanted was her daughter to come back around because she had did wrong by her daughter so many times that her daughter finally said, "Mom, I'm done." And so she literally would cry in group 3, 4, 5 times a week. She don't know why her daughter won't talk to her. She doesn't know why. We have to remember all the years or all the time that we were out doing what we wanted to do when our family and our kids wanted nothing more than for us to be clean and sober for them. So now that you're on the right track and you're doing the right thing, now it's kind of like your roles are reversed. And so when your family's ready to come back around and when they see that you're doing good, and so it's like it's not on your timeline now. Now you just have to keep doing what you're doing to stay clean and sober. Take 1 minute at a time, keep letting them see that you're doing good. And when they're ready, they'll come back to you. You know, and I know like you want it right now. We're addicts. We want everything right now. But unfortunately, we have to remember we hurt them just like now they're hurting us.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? And I know it doesn't make anything better for you today, but you never know. Like tomorrow, your brother might
Hold on
be
a
out.
second.
Okay.
1 second. I do got to say, Mallory's having a live at 8 Central. And Mallory's live, I believe, is Mr. Mao's reaction to Mikey. Am I right, Mallory?
Mr. Malfunction to Mikey. I'm done.
Yeah, so there's a reaction live on Mallory where Mr. Mao is going to react to, I believe it was Mikey's live. I'm not sure. But what I'm going to do is that second live that I had planned, since we're going to overlap in time, I'm going to cancel that second live, and everybody should go to Mallory's live and watch that reaction, because I'm also going to go to Mallory's live and watch that reaction.
And I'm not going to stay up here long. I just wanted to kind of, I mean, Nikki and Hensley and Mallory kind of touch base with that. But I mean, I feel like until our counselor just sat down and had this conversation with this growing group, like, look, I know this is what you want, but unfortunately, it's on your daughter's timeline now. You know, and I'm not saying your daughter, Jen. I'm just saying as an example. So don't give up hope.
I'm not. I was listening to you. I was just had to show somebody something real quick.
No, you're good. You're
But
good.
I
That's
was
all I
listening
wanted.
to you, and you make perfect sense. And I'm trying to do all that.
Girl, keep doing it. You have nothing else to do
But
but keep
man,
doing what
when
you're
you
doing.
want your family there, you want your family there. I mean, the
But
holidays are coming up, and
Jen, they also wanted you there, and they wanted me there, and they wanted Nikki there, and you know what I'm saying.
I'm clean and I'm sober.
And that's great. And keep doing it, girl.
Thank you.
Keep doing it. Keep doing it. But when time's right, they'll be there. But right now, it's a wait game for you. It's your turn to wait. So, anyways, keep doing what you're doing. I'm gonna
Thank you.
hop down. I will talk to you later. If you need to talk, reach out.
Okay, thanks.
Everybody's got good input, good advice, except for the troll accounts. Yeah, within time, keep making your progress and make that a goal for further out. Don't look at that as a way of like you're not achieving that, so what's the point? Because that's not the best way to look at it. The best way to look at it is keep your goals within sight, like Nikki said. Set your goals where you can reach them. You can see the progress.
All right, thank you.
But I am going to hop off here. Is there anything else you want to finish up with for today, Jen? Hey, Bruiser. She's at work, so I don't want to keep her up here and distract her from work. You're welcome, Jen. And you're welcome up anytime. But yeah, Mallory's going live at 8 Central. It's Mr. Mal's reaction to Mikey not wanting to be a virgin no more. I'll probably be live at some point tonight. I don't know if I get bored, but y'all have a good day, and I'll see you over at Mallory's live.